you very much. You made the show go.
Took his son Abram, daughter-in-law Sarai, and his grandson Lot, and moved away from Ur of the Chaldeans, heading for the land of Canaan. But they stopped at Haran and settled there. Some years later, the Lord called Abram to a new land.
We don't know how we'll find
Dedicated it to the Lord who had appeared to him. After that, he traveled towards the hills east of Bethel and set up camp there between Bethel and Ai. There he built another altar, dedicated it to the Lord, and worshipped the Lord there.
You alone are worthy. You alone deserve my highest praise. You alone are holy. You alone are worthy. You alone deserve my highest praise. You are high and lifted up. You are high and lifted up, and your glory fills this place. You are high and lifted up. You are high and lifted up, and your glory fills this place. I will bow before you. I give you all the glory. I will bow before you, worship you. I will bow before you. I give you all the glory. I will bow before you, worship you. You are high and lifted up. You are high and lifted up, and your glory fills this place. You are high and lifted up. You are high and lifted up, and your glory fills this place.
Then Abram set out and continued traveling south by stages towards the Negev. Now there was a famine in the land, so Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because the famine was so severe. Then Abram went from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. Abram had become very wealthy in livestock and silver and gold. From the Negev he traveled north again from place to place until he camped where he had first built an altar. There Abram called on the name of the Lord. So a dispute broke out between their respective herdsmen, and Abraham said,
"Let's not have any quarreling between us. We are brothers. Is not the whole land before you? Let's part company."
Abraham said, "If you go to the left, then I'll go to the right. If you go to the left."
Abraham said, "If you go to the right, then I'll go to the left. If you go to the right." So Lot chose the whole Jordan Valley and settled in the plain near the city of Jordan. But the people there were wicked and sinful, and soon that city will be forgotten.
Abraham said, "If you go to the left, then I'll go to the right. If you go to the left."
Abraham said, "If you go to the right, then I'll go to the left. If you go to the right." Lot chose the whole Jordan Valley and settled in the plain near the city of Jordan. But the people there were wicked and sinful, and soon that city will be forgotten.
Abraham said, "If you go to the left, then I'll go to the right. If you go to the left."
Abraham said, "If you go to the right, then I go to the left. If you go to the right."
the two men parted company. Abraham lived in the land of Canaan. After Lot had departed, God spoke to Abram.
I'm giving you this land, is exalted and possession. Look as far as you can see in every direction. North and south, east and west, you and your descendants. I'll give you so many, they will be like the dust of the cloth that cannot be counted. Go forth through the land in every direction, for I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you.
Abraham moved his tents to Hebron and settled near the oak trees belonging to Mamre, where he built another altar to the Lord. War broke out in the region between rival kings, and Lot and his people were captured by the army of 4 of the kings. When Abraham heard this, he mobilized 318 trained men, went in pursuit, attacked, routed, and defeated the army, and brought back Lot, his family, and all his possessions. The king of Sodom came out to meet him and offered Abram to keep the spoils for himself, but Abram refused.
So that you will never be able to say, I've made Abram rich, as I've made an oath with God Most High.
Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought Abram bread and wine and blessed him, saying, Sometime later, the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram, for I will protect you, and your reward will be great.
If you just go to my servant Beverley, you'll not give them money, send them so many young.
But the Lord said, this man will not be your heir, but the son who is your own flesh and blood, he will be your heir.
You will have a son of your own, and it is he who will be your heir. You will have a son of your own, and it is he who will be your heir. Oh, can the stars come them if you can? There's so much family you give you a prayer. Oh, can the stars come them if you can? There's so much family I give you a prayer.
Abraham believed and saw the Lord, counted his righteous because of his days.
Abraham believed and saw the Lord, counted his righteous because of his days. So he became our father of faith. Abraham became our father of faith. So he became our father of faith. Abraham became our father of faith.
I am the Lord who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this land as your possession. Abram replied,
How can I be sure they'll actually possess it?
God told Abram to make animal sacrifices of a heifer, a goat, and a ram, a dove, and a pigeon. He cut them in two and arranged them opposite each other. At dusk, Abram fell into a deep sleep. Then the Lord said to him, know for certain that your descendants will be slaves in Egypt and mistreated for 400 years. But I will punish that nation, and I will bring your descendants back to this land with great possessions. A smoking fire pot with a blazing torch appeared and passed between the pieces. So the Lord made a covenant with Abraham on that day and said, I have given you this land.
I have given this land to your descendants from the borders of Egypt, the river Euphrates. I have given this land to your descendants from the borders of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Every idol must fall, every idol must crush. You must know to me now, you will not turn it back. Every idol must fall, every idol must crush. You must know to me now, you will not turn it back. I have given this land for your descendants from the borders of Egypt to the river Euphrates. I have given this land for your descendants from the borders of Egypt to the river Euphrates. Every idol must fall, every idol must crash. You must look to me now.
There'll be no turning back.
Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian maidservant named Hagar. After 10 years living in Canaan, Sarai said,
The Lord has kept me from having children. Go sleep with my maidservant Hagar. Maybe I can build a family through her.
So Abraham slept with Hagar, and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress, Sarai. Sarai blamed Abraham, so he said,
Do what you think best.
so Sarai mistreated Hagar, and Hagar fled. The angel of the Lord found Hagar by a spring in the desert and told her to go back and submit to Sarai. He told her that her descendants would be too numerous to count and to call her baby son Ishmael. He would be a wild man and would live in hostility with everyone. Hagar replied,
I have now seen El Roi, the God who sees me.
So Hagar gave birth to Ishmael when Abram was 86 years old. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to him and said, I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. I will confirm my covenant with you and will greatly increase your numbers. You will be the father of many nations. Your name will be Abraham. Kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant with you as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants for generations to come. To be your God, the whole land of Canaan, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants, and I will be their God. Your responsibility is to obey the terms of my covenant. This is a covenant that you and your descendants must keep. Every male among you must be circumcised as a sign of my covenant between me and you. My covenant in your flesh is to be an everlasting covenant.
I will give you new names, Sarai and Abram. You shall now be called Sarah and Abraham. Your new name shall be Sarah and Abraham. For it is part of my plan to name you Sarah and Abraham. Lord is the Father of many nations. Sarah will be fruitful, and she will be richly blessed. She is the mother of many nations, and kings of nations will be among them.
Abram bowed to the ground, but he laughed and he said to himself,
How can I become a father 100 years old and Sarah have a baby at 90?
He said to God,
May Ishmael live under your special blessing.
then God said,
O Sarah, your wife will give you a son. He is the one, yes, he will be the one. And it is through him that my covenant will come. You name him Isaac, for he will bring you great joy. He is the son of promise that I will give to you. I'll fulfill my promise through him will come a covenant. With him his seed, it will be an everlasting one. Yes, I'll fulfill my promise. Through him will come a covenant. With him and his seed, it will be an everlasting one.
the Lord also told Abraham that he would bless Ishmael to be fruitful and the father of 12 nations. But my covenant will be confirmed with Isaac, who will be born to you and Sarah about this time next year. When God had finished speaking with Abraham, he went up from him. And on that very day, Abraham circumcised Ishmael and every male in his household. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent. Abraham noticed 3 men standing near his tent and ran to meet them, bowing low. He offered them food and rest under the tree and water to wash their feet. He asked Sarah to make some bread and had his servant prepare a tender calf. He took the meat with yogurt and milk for the men to eat. He waited on them in the shade of the trees. "Where is your wife Sarah?" one asked him. He replied that she was inside the tent. Then the Lord said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and your wife Sarah will have a son." Sarah was listening from the tent, and she laughed to herself. She thought,
How could a worn-out woman like me enjoy such pleasure? Especially when my husband is also old.
Then the Lord said to Abram, "Why did Sarah laugh in disbelief? Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." looked down towards Sodom. Abraham walked with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord told Abraham, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great because their sin is so grievous. I'm going to see if their actions are as wicked as I have heard. The men turned away and went towards Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord, approached him and pleaded. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot got up to meet them, invited them to stay with him, and prepared a meal for them. But before they had gone to bed, all the men of Sodom, young and old, surrounded the house and demanded that Lot bring the two outside so that they could have sex with the men. Lot went outside and pleaded with the men not to do this wicked thing against the guests under his protection. They put pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. The two inside pulled Lot in and struck the men outside with blindness. They told Lot to get his family out of Sodom and Gomorrah, as they were going to destroy it. At dawn, they led Lot, his wife and daughters out of the city, telling them to flee to the mountains and not to look back. Lot asked to flee to a town called Zoar, and they agreed. The Lord rained down burning sulfur from the heavens on Sodom and Gomorrah. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early next morning, Abraham returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord and saw dense smoke arising from the plain and from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and rescued Lot. The Lord kept his word and did to Sarah exactly what he had promised. She gave birth to a son for Abraham in his old age. He was 100 years old when Isaac was born. Abraham gave him the name Isaac, which means he laughs. Sarah said,
God has taught me laughter. All who hear about this will laugh with me. Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse a baby? Yet I've given Abraham a son in his old age.
when Isaac was 8 days old, Abraham circumcised him as God had commanded.
God has given us a son.
God is the stars we song.
The son he promised me.
To go. His name is to be called again.
Because he made us love the Lord. We are joyful in our old age. We're joyful now in our old age. Our hearts are filled with laughter again. God has given us a son.
God is the stars we song.
The son he promised me.
To go. His name is to be called again.
Because he made us love the Lord, we're now joyful in our old age. We're joyful now in our old age. Our mouths are filled with laughter again. Isaac has made us love
On the day Isaac was weaned, Abraham held a great feast, but when Sarah saw Ishmael mocking Isaac, he said to Abraham,
Get rid of that slave woman and her son, or he will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac.
This distressed Abraham greatly, because Ishmael was his son. But God said, Do not be distressed about the boy and your maidservant. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. I will make Ishmael into a nation also, because he is your offspring. Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He sent her off with Ishmael, and they wandered in the desert of Beverley. When the water was gone, she put the boy under a bush and sat about a bow shot away, for she thought,
I cannot bear to watch the boy die.
and she began to sob. Then the angel of the Lord called to her from heaven.
Let me not
The angel of the Lord said, lift the boy up and take him by the hand. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. And his mother got a wife for him from Egypt. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. God said, take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go and sacrifice him in the region of Moriah, on the mountain that I will show you. So early in the morning, Abraham saddled the donkey, took with him Isaac, 2 servants, and wood for the burnt offering. On the 3rd day he saw the mountain and told his servants to stay with the donkey, whilst he and Isaac went up Mount Moriah to worship.
Abba, yes, my son, as he said, where is the man? We'll get there, and then we'll see that provision of the real and me. Wood for the fire, knife for the kill. We must have faith that it is God's will. Wood for the fire, knife for the kill. We must have faith that it is God's will. So we climbed up Mount Moriah. There were questions in his head, but Abraham believed God would raise Isaac from the dead. Although his heart was heavy and his feet were slow to tread, still Abraham believed God would raise Isaac from the dead. They reached a place, arranged the wood, and he bound him on the altar as a lamb. But when it came to raise the knife, the angel said, stop, don't take his life.
Abraham looked up. There, in the thicket, he saw a ram caught by its horns. So he went over, took the ram, and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham called that place, the Lord will provide. And to this day it is said, on the mountain of the Lord it will be provided.
God has provided, oh God has provided, God has provided the land. He has provided, yes, He has provided the land for Abraham. He has provided, the Lord has provided, for it was the Father, the Son, the God. Isaac was saved, was never provided.
enjoyed our performance, and it seems that there is a little basket up there that you can just drop some coins or notes or whatever you feel appropriate into. We appreciate it very much.
I just want to allow you to thank our various characters, the voice of God, Valery, Oleshko.